right, moving on to your next choice.
We are going with Psychopaths.
Psychopaths. I was looking at this one and I had not watched it yet.
Psychopaths is going right into the A tier.
Okay. And give me a quick rundown as to why you enjoyed it so much then.
Psychopaths, it was definitely a good one. This one it's kind of along the same genre lines as Ace Attorney and what its themes are, but the way it presents it really makes you reflect on society. And obviously it's a criminal show, it's a legal show, I guess you say. Well, not legal show, but it's a criminal show, and like Law and Order and whatnot,
Hmm.
without the courtroom part of it. It's more or less the cops portion of it,
Right.
but it really makes you reflect on your own society, and it really makes you reflect on you as a person and your own moral thought process and the way you view certain, instances.
This one I can honestly say I got the idea of, but I did skip around a little bit. I did skip through a little bit because, I mean, the title really says it all. It's Shuffle. I would see, I'm torn between it could be better and good watch. And the kind of the note that I took on it and kind of gives an idea is it turns from a comedy to a harem to a fantasy to a
Mm.
dark sadness. Once it turned into the harem side, that's when I started to skip. And then it made me skip into the fantasy a bit because it still latched on to the harem side a little bit. You know what? No, it's going back down to could be better. Like, and the thing is what I did enjoy about it came at the beginning and at the end.
That's the difference.
The thing I could say about Shuffle is if you don't know what to watch, watch Shuffle. Like it's if you don't know what
Okay.
you like, it has a little bit of everything. Let's move on to your next choice.
It's going to be in front of Angel Beats in the S tier. It's Data Live.
Date Alive. That is on my list to watch, and I'm actually pretty excited to watch it.
It's a really great concept. The comedy in it is there's not a moment that I don't find laughing at it. It really has some good romance. It has a little bit of everything with character developments and
Okay.
establishing the characters. I'm trying to dance around this not to give away too much for you because
Right.
I still want you to at least attempt to watch it. I
Oh no,
don't know
I'm
how.
gonna check it out. So
Well, I know I don't want to scare you off or anything, especially with what
great,
you just said. With what
great,
you just said with Shuffle, but
fantastic.
no. But all in all, it's one that it always has something to draw me into it, and
Okay. All right, so moving on to the next one, I'm going to go ahead and you might be surprised by this one. Maybe.
okay.
Miria Nikki or Future Diary. Now, I'm
Okay,
giving this
okay.
a hard to match. Not necessarily a must see, strictly for the fact that it's not for everybody. The story
Definitely not for everybody.
the story is very convoluted at the beginning in particular and hard to follow because you kind of just get thrusted right into it, but it does let itself like pan out and it makes sense in the end in particular too. And I absolutely, and you know me, I absolutely love this anime.
Hmm.
And that's the only reason it's not in a must see is because again, it's not for everybody. Like
No, definitely not.
Gasai is the quintessential yandere. She is the crazy. Gasai is where I even learned what a yandere was. And with that, we'll move on to your next choice.
Let's go with a little bit of an older one. Let's go with Kanon.
Kanan, where are you throwing
Or
this
Canon, however
canon?
it's pronounced.
Right.
It is going in B tier.
So, what
Um,
about canon did you enjoy then?
Now this one is definitely a bit older. Thinking back, I'm almost certain it was one of the first, I guess you could say, full-on wholesome animes that I honestly ever seen. Overwhelmingly wholesome. Now, granted, it may not be for everybody. It may not be your cup of tea, and especially like I said, it does show its age.
Hmm.
To sit down on my own and rewatch it, I more than likely won't do that.
Okay, fair point. Moving on, I'm going to go ahead and get my last must see out of the way. And we
Okay.
both know what it's going to be, and we both
Yeah.
know how I feel about it. It's Comey Can't
Yep.
Communicate.
Oh yeah.
Now, Comey has a special spot in my heart. Um, it is the first manga I have ever picked up. It is the first collection that I had purchased. When I first watched this, I didn't know what I was getting into. Had no idea what it was. I just thought it looked interesting, just by the cover art even.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched it, I could not stop until I finished it. And it was one of the most enjoyable experiences I had. Now, again, it's probably not for everybody. I will always highly recommend Comey over or to people. So we'll go ahead and move on to your last three.
Darwin's Game.
Okay, and where do you want to place this?
It is going in the A tier, my friend. It's a new one. There's a new season, I think, coming out soon ish, I hope. So I
Right.
kind of want to see where this one goes before I move it up or down on the tier list, even. Evolve and survive.
Okay.
It heavily plays on that. Think of it as like I said, it takes it plays on Charles Darwin and his theories, but it really takes it to some of the extreme levels of what could be possible.
All right. Sounds good. I'm going to move on to an interesting one that I don't know how many people know about this one. And it is, I believe, called Shikamori is not or isn't just a cutie. And that is going to Good Watch. You would think she has like a split personality in a way. Like you see a very serious side of her, and it only really ever rears its ugly head when her boyfriend is either in distress or someone's talking crap about him or something like that. Otherwise, she is like the perfect girlfriend type deal. She like literally almost goes cuckoo, almost future diary cuckoo when it comes to protecting him and all this stuff. But it is a good watch. It's not a dark anime. It's not action or anything like that. It's a slice of life, but it's just a good watch. I mean, there's nothing else to really say about it. All right, so moving on to your last two.
Last two. You're gonna probably hate me for this one, and you know why. Going at the top of B tier, Heaven's Lost Property.
Yep, I already slapped it in there.
You already knew where I was going
Now,
with that
a
one.
little disclaimer on this one. I had seen, I think, two episodes of this, and I mean, it was a long time ago, but after two episodes, I was like, nah, nah. So
Yeah.
continue.
Um,
why did you enjoy it? Why were
so
you wrong?
obviously, while it may be a very adult anime, in a way, it's an adult comedy. If there is any at all message and theme of the anime, it's absolutely how not to act as a male individual.
Right, and on that note, we are going to avoid this stain on our tier list and move on. The next one is going to be, I think it's called Recovery of an MMO Junkie.
Yep.
And I'm
Okay.
going to throw that into Good Watch.
Okay.
Or it's kind of one of those moments where it's like at the shuffle thing. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to say, since I can't throw it in between, this is literally the only one that I would say is in between Good Watch and Could Be Better. So I'm going to throw it at the bottom of Could Be Better, and at the bottom or at the top of Could Be Better, and at the bottom of Good Watch. It needs another season because it ends so abruptly and it makes no sense as to how they ended the season. It is what it says. I mean, a couple of gamers end up gaming together. She's, a neat shut-in and all this other stuff. I mean, they're adults. It's not kids. It's not teenagers. They're adults, and it is wholesome. It is enjoyable, but the way it ended, just I can't merit it being a good watch. So it's going to be at the top of good, could be better. And on that note, let's
See,
move on to your last one. So where are you
I mean,
throwing
if you
Excel
have seen it,
World?
you know.
F. All right.
No,
It belongs in
no,
F.
and
Or as
that's
in
your.
D, as in don't watch it.
It is going in A rank. It is
A
going
rank.
above Ace Attorney. It's going below Darwin's Game, but above Ace Attorney.
This to this.
If you've seen the other anime that the creator of Excel World has done,
Boo!
you'll understand why.
Boo!
But no, if you
It's going back down
actually.
to F.
Yeah, mind your list, bitch. But if you know that, in my opinion, the way they presented it, and actually in a way the character development even and the character arc, it's actually really good. Again, your hot take, you hate it for another reason. You hate it because of the other person, or the person, his other work that he created. My opinion is Excel World at least took the genre and the idea that the other one tried to make
Hmm.
and made it at least better, or at least one upped it a little bit.
Okay. And on my last one is going to obviously be. I want to make sure I pronounce this correct. I think it's Masamune Kun's Revenge. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw this into Good Watch. Again, nothing too special. It is very enjoyable and very funny. The basic premise, and again, I'm not going to tell the whole story here, is he's obviously getting revenge on someone that turned him down, and she has no idea who he is, kind of thing. And
That's a tragic love story waiting to happen.
right, and she is basically an ice queen. Like she is just cold as can be, and it's funny as hell to watch. It's enjoyable. The only reason, again, it doesn't go too hard to match even is because it does need another season. It ended well. Don't get me wrong. It's not like um, the MMO junkie, but it did wrap it up slightly. Obviously, leaving much room for more seasons, but it it was good. It was good for what it was.